Tem Aden. Some worry chama won't to meet. Why? Eti wo how no ba kwa sa be kan wa se wanya BP wo be ko bia yes mahame engo from wo nti no dia wo ye no to aso ana ye sa
ya tikas na fi ni man nse
ya emne yire mu minim so percent
no bisa mu no mo se di nti no ma je
dan dia ya ye ni nyina no wo be bisa mu
sa na lawyers ni bisa
me say dia ya ye na freezing mobile money I freezing the bank accounts the pickups the excavators ni TV station ni you can say the radio station kwa ya tum reason bia anim es ya tum nti bisa hwan ni ho akere no e na ni ho kire no ba na e ba sa nti se 25 nsuo amefa ye de ane ye beto aso sa
oh ti man na mfom sese
ni yire no mienu nyina na mfom adan e de ebentia.
This time we are changing him because he has fraudulent us. Yes. We now relaxing that she have been cheating us, so we don't want him again. Yeah. That's why we are bringing Chamodeno home this time. One to me is a fraudulent. He has a lot of things. You see, when you go to national and you are going to find something, they will tell you that we have given it to your regional chairman, so go to him. You see, and when you come to him, he will also tell you that they haven't given him anything.
Person me can na say me person me you know me tete so. Me say Osubempa, I'm telling you, so back on a year, me what 10. Now say me what prim. Now say me what 1 million a year. And I'm telling you, me say, so Osubempa kra would dima chinya. Baby and this for crowd da say 8 now say you know. Memo me free what 7 and now say 6. I'm telling you to show the strength and the power. Ha! Yeah, namni ye campaign ye what to na also ye Pharisees. I'm telling you. I know uti unya demo Osubempa na nasa de kam mesia hitino ko finti me dia chaw me de oboni ya chaw ko men ko ye boni bio me da se
pesa man ho ye
oh se see a problem ba kwa sa be ka ho
anu ne sen
ne yire mu ka unse ne yire mu ye mienu yakoji ne yire mu cars nyina cars ne yire mu dabi aban
wakoji chama untumi yire
cars ne yire mu tu no wa freeway agire cars nyina omo nante form ade omo ware chama
asemo all right for this is the debate with Munufie mojidie say ene ohoye me ye ba be ye adwuma special one chama untumi na mwakire no any Akuffo Akpalo. Me sure say I posted a video this afternoon about this particular platform. So Attorney General aba out aba chere keta asese ni dwirim a chama wuntumi adi Ghana man esi diburu nya wi a de chama wuntumi ekwa kogina aban kokum na fi the chama ememe yi na no mechere ni ma bi as why he shouldn't go to Nsawam and meet Nana Agrada there. That is something we are also going to discuss here we are. Assembly, no me boatem didi be akrachi bi didi the president of our land, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Ene ba ko bi to kwa ma alaji Dr. Bawumia. Ibeti na futuo potin e wodman sa nipa no. E de amano. That is also something we are also going to discuss. Other social issues. NPP party, they say kwa Asante Mama, NPP for use Asante 40 sene emia na won so. O de do we another hanger sorry. Is this an NPP for Ashanti region? Youth of Ashanti region. Uti Attorney General ya adia chama wuntumi de Asante for no. We're going to discuss that. Chama wuntumi gina simple so kachere Ghana for Asante for de sebe o madwen na e from into electronic transaction kwa Asante for so mompe o don pe physical cash. You be kwa do so because Attorney General nsem no kan no. There was some key points bi o ma age se menu miru na ye do so asuko. Na hwa de. Ba ye sha se China ni bio se Ghana ni me bo kire wa ba cho in the comment section kire me so China ni o so Ghana ni we are all going to know or the nsembia kwa ma IGP ni Ghana police onyawa ye be ko ho ba ye ba sha se no ba cho mo yenti ura Hassan Yarega Hassan Yarega ka asɛm bi pakyɛ sɛ mu Hassan Yarega ɔka asɛm bi na pɛ sɛ me no nyina yɛdi di saa asɛm na Hassan Yarega aka no pakyɛ uti Hassan Yarega
Daddy, anyone word again. I mean, everybody work hard. Be prayerful. Okay. But when you're prayerful, the devil cannot take anything away from you. Okay. Amen. And then you be hard worker and honest and sincere. Okay. When you're honest and sincere, you will make it. Amen. What you see today is a motivation for you to work hard. Yes. You don't need to sell the most expensive thing to be rich. You can sell the cheapest thing to be rich. Amen. Yes, it's true. Yes. If you sell water every day, you are able to sell 100,000 bottles of water in a month. You are a rich man. Yes.
Me pacho what is sama Owura Hassan Yarega kan ni ye Owura Hassan Yarega bisa say daddy kasa kese a otimo Ghana yi eni sika wo no ma ya futu kwan be ni yenso be fa so a ye be ye o se man ton ne ma ne bo eden ba be ye na bom paye say paye be na Hassan Yarega kan Ghana nkwan ni the only country a utimi na obi koda na adwena mu nyina ahia mu obedate we nani pa ni sika ni ubi se na o se nyankopon me nimba bi o mu hye nyankopon o de tie nsema Owura Hassan Yarega kan no ba jo me se replay biem tie ni ye
Daddy, anyone word again. I mean, everybody work hard. Be prayerful. Okay. But when you're prayerful, the devil cannot take anything away from you. Okay. Amen. And then you be hard worker and honest and sincere. Okay. When you're honest and sincere, you will make it. Amen. What you see today is a motivation for you to work hard. Yes. You don't need to sell the most expensive thing to be rich. You can sell the cheapest thing to be rich. Amen. Yes, it's true. Yes. If you sell water every day, you are able to sell 100,000 bottles of water in a month. You are a rich man. Yes.
Pacho nsema papa yi kan yi so wona ne ya adwen the comment section obitim do adwen kiraba ye bisa ne biem ame san repeat biem say Owura kwai be na for say youth ne be ya o si be prayerful na obom pa ya bronsam entimin say ho be honest with yourself be honest o si kan okore nam biem so no enton ne ma ne boy ne do ton basic things that you can be rich hey Ghana sikana shi ti say dey ya ko before hey dey sikana ye yan sa ne ye dey sound kwan hey Hassan Yarega say ne we ya is obom paye say Hassan Yarega e dey empire bon ko na Ghana for person because Ghana so re bu Ghana a Christian nation minimum ko meet make just say about 70% of Ghanaians are Christians ye kwa so dey bia ko bon paye yet poverty absolute poverty e wo Ghana ho Hassan Yarega is telling you and I say bon paye na bon paye obeye all right that's it yes yes go bon paye it is yes me so na makota na so na ja me so me dey hallelujah oh hallelujah e bia me so me ye ma ho ka bia Hassan Yarega twi on the streets of Ghana car na tie minim obom paye a minim ba bi ko nyankopon de say sika ni be fira brew instead of telling the youth the truthfulness no most rich people in our country no entimi nka ba bi o munya sika no enkere I watched a video in person my body kese but let me name names here me share guy bi o UK he walks on the streets and then interview people and ask them how they became rich. Now one of the videos me who say check that copy mu ho ya Ghana na kwa media kwa e copy no interview abrofo bebre e na check that copy mu ho bronyi bia was able to explicitly tell or say how they became rich. Edu check that kwa so ha he wasn't straight. And he has to say the same ko bomb pie na bi na check that catch akwa no e UK ho. Watch you can say that particular video me say make come asem. Edu bi na Hassan Yarega kan yo. Ghana nkwan obi ti kan so no tombo fruit e was street so or the sea mansion. Emi kuro makwa bi ho pia hwibaro ko osi abron san be 5. Ubi sa no so ya adwumaden na otwi hwibaro benyeska. Say eh hwibaro be na wo kan. Hwibaro be na Ghana yetimi twi yesika ni wo Ghana ho. Ana yeah ya kan na sebe ya dwen nya adwuma na say because I don't even understand. The bajo bronya ni edi kire me kwan fa so nipa ye o Ghana Hassan Yarega say yanko bompaye. Na bompa ya bronsam ntimi nyi bia mfiri ho me bajo bronsam no da be na bronsam de ne sakwashe obi kotokrom ko indi sika fi ni butom. Ana dey kind of pipe na Hassan Yarega ka minim bajo in the comment section send ya hoti asibia no ya na ho dey aba. Yeah, let's move on. This is the debate with Munufie. But you say nene de di kan ahwe me Medini William Munufie amankora. China ni bi akwa na ogina ho was China ni. Na kasa akwa na kan so onye China ni. O say o paki ni moto. na ebima bewia ana ebima befa ko obi say yesi police for na ifa na yenko bi say no crazy police for na fire a edin potin na odebe police for no pa choti answer on the mind
even yara his excellency John Dramani Mahama Krampo no ofum Krampo na nasa ban so no mu a because of so same ranity they in house arrest with all due respect police for muntie minim say makesifo say bedufo minim awa time moto na de eko mi donya me ka chia me hunda say police for salam metra be kunkum ni am donya me police nje police for chi hu masemo moto no man fan ba yes sir mu wi boy bi ni phone mi ji boy ni number me friend ya police ni catch me say do I know who he is say who your police ni yes be any power man say be chichi moto
say where they talk
are you above the law mi donya me man for moto number oh me catch am say police wa chi hu ma say me kumuni ya police for na mu ba me kumuni ya I'm telling you the truth fact me kumuni ya
all right
moto no man fan ba me kumuni ya
high road side high road side bibi mo mo akọ
bibi mo so si anu say
bibi mo mo akọ mo be say all right
minim say moto no ka de sample say mu ye bedufu mu ye mankesinfu minim na police for ba ha ne da ro me fa moto no me friend o ka tell me say ma me ka san kwa san na cha minim say oni
I don't know me dwen ho amenti ase e ba ne say na ase Ghana some people think to say meku is becoming very very normal in a community or in a society. Se moto yira na se obi say na se police for na bachi moto na. How are you going to kill obede ku police for no? I mean putting in that kind of context. Akwai so ye China ni no abeta Ghana so twi se China ni na be water man kesi area ho so ye Ghana ni na waten ho China news I don't know. But saying on authority I capture on video say and send say ube company power Ghana na there. In fact, Ghana na baby de Ghana ekono ya trashe kakra. Ase man ni bi ya trashe. Basi yankasa amfa ho a mesremo baby Ghana ekono be say yo. Enye Somalia asem na yekan yo. Ghana asem na yekan. Well, Priscilla, we have a call there. Me that's it. Why are there? And I saw a very surprising message from Priscilla. Very, very surprising message be. And that team I saw me email and was a Priscilla I send them a package be. Why are there? Priscilla me saw I with my WhatsApp me I'll be very, very happy. +358 46537264 WhatsApp me now in come because myself I can't just say 27 if I'm bringing you live on the show. Now if me no you need to so after the show you can send me message me for anyhow you want me to communicate with you. Take me that's papa Priscilla. I'm a bring I there. Asam kwine. It meet me ko be 10 based on the packaging of the brand. All right, so let's move on. And the idea about discuss here. Ghana's economic mismanagers. Yeah, Akuffo by Ghana the way they mismanage Ghana's economy no. Pantoma. Ese me no nyina discuss here. Hwe. Ne ma bi o man ni ma access yam fa ya no anka ya se ya de bi. But me, I'm watching the president of our land, President John Dramani Mahama Mesro, on Attorney General. Some loophole be anka modern and now then go for the bit me quarter. Anka many beje. If there is any law in our constitution, in our law books, I bet me the former president and now then go for the Kujina court. I'm gonna call in Sembiano anka many beje. Let's address it very, very peacefully here. Because under Ronaldo's watch. The pacho chrono ketase se de proye pa e course wo Ghana no e bi ye pantoma bi wa odwen ho a onti ase e bi wa odwen ho a onti ase pechama wontumi etimi ko forge documents e de koje bosia wo a whole exim bank say poyando e bi na ba
amount me ho ye
oh she see a problem ba kwa sa be ka ho
problem de ba ku betima sa ba be ka ho se na chama wontumi party mi ye dia in fact maybe one mentias here. Maybe one mentias here. Young Quasantim, young Kubisa Santa for the China Mucha man, unto me. Ye we are a Bible Tony General video no. Now the tea medical doing same be as Chama, unto me a D as Santa for Ashanti region. I'm surprised. Momo, you are the stronghold of NPP. Sometimes I've been surprised with these kind of things because the way NPP for D as Santa for terminal, I are a host with the tea. How somebody in Ashanti region sees Chama unto me.
This time we are changing him because he has fraudulent us. Yes. We now relaxing that she have been cheating us, so we don't want him again. Yeah. That's why we are bringing Chamo.
Yes, Chamo to me said, "Oh, she has been cheating us. That's why we don't want him in Ashanti region again." It's just Asante Forto Ntatukoko. And I said Chamo to me. Now before I continue, no mama me nkwana me mo Attorney General. With the TN same Attorney General, I can fetch Chamo to me. If we are, I'll tell you something that went on in the Ashanti region based on video.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, you will recall that in March this year, the Economic and Organized Crime Office arrested Chairman Wuntumi on reasonable suspicion of the commission of a crime. Chairman Wuntumi is the sole shareholder, director, and chief executive officer of Wuntumi Farms Limited. The arrest was pursuant to credible intelligence gathered by the EOCO that the company and its director and CEO, its directors and CEO were involved in a fraudulent transaction in connection with a purported loan facility granted by the Ghana Exim Bank under the Mining Alternative Livelihoods program of the bank. The program was designed by Exim Bank to provide alternative sources of livelihood for the youth in areas of the country affected by the phenomenon of illegal mining or galamsey. In doing so, the Exim Bank intended that the loans under the program would go to companies committed to ensuring the realization of the objectives of the initiative, especially in relation to job creation for young persons in mining communities. In December 2017, Wuntumi Farms Limited submitted its application for a loan of 18 million Ghana cedis, purportedly to cultivate maize on 100,000 acre farmland and to employ the youth on the farm. At the time that the application was submitted by Wuntumi Farms Limited, together with a purported board resolution, the company was not yet registered. In other words, it was not in existence. In short, the company did not exist at the time of the loan application by its sole shareholder and director. Investigations established that Wuntumi Farms Limited was incorporated on December 14, 2017, and issued with a certificate to commence business on the same day. The principal business activities of the company, as stated in its corporate registration documents, are general farming, agribusiness, and agro-processing. The directors of the company are Bernard Enchibusuako and Thomas Enchibusuako, with Chairman Wuntumi being the sole shareholder of the company and also listed as its company secretary. Thomas Enchibusuako is believed to be the brother of Bernard Enchibusuako, domiciled in the United States of America. Prior to the registration of the company, that is Wuntumi Farms Limited, Chairman Wuntumi wrote to Exim Bank that the board of directors of Wuntumi Farms Limited had met on December 9, 2017, and had resolved to seek a loan facility of 19 million from the bank to support its farm project at Asari Nkwanta in the Ashanti region under the Mining Alternative Livelihoods Initiative. The application letter stated, among others, that the credit facility was meant for a farming venture and that the company had secured 100,000 acres of land for that purpose. On January 16, 2018, based upon the application submitted by Chairman Wuntumi, the chief promoter of Wuntumi Farms, Exim Bank approved a medium-term loan facility of 18,734,260 Ghana cedis, which included a grant component of 6,768,260 Ghana cedis. This offer was accepted via a letter dated January 23, 2018, and Chairman Wuntumi, acting as the chief executive officer of Wuntumi Farms Limited, and Thomas Enchibusuako as director of Wuntumi Farms Limited, The offer letter indicated that the approval of the medium-term loan facility was subject to the bank's terms and conditions. The loan offer letter further stated that the loan was secured with 10,000 acres of farmland of Wuntumi Farms at Asarinkwanta. The breakdown of the approved 18.7 million loan as per the offer letter was as follows. A. Purchase of agricultural plant and machinery, working capital, and then grant staff costs and consultancy fees. As part of the pre-disbursement conditions of the loan, Wuntumi Farms Limited was to do the following among others. Execute an equitable mortgage over the land earmarked for the project, submit a valuation report on the land to be used as collateral, execute a lease agreement over the equipment, provide a letter of undertaking from off-takers to make payments in the joint names of Ghana Exim Bank and Wuntumi Farms Limited, and then finally submit copies of the contract with the National Buffer Stock Company, under which Wuntumi Farms was to supply the food items to buffer stock. IESO Agribusiness Consult, a company specialized in investment advisory services, consultancy and training and development, was contracted by Exim Bank and assigned to Wuntumi Farms Limited as a consultant to the project. The key function of IESO Agribusiness Consult was to provide technical assistance to Wuntumi Farms Limited. On February 14, 2018, IBAN Capital Limited, a company that specializes in financial technology services, cash management services, distribution of custom banking and payment software packages, was also contracted by Exim Bank and assigned to Wuntumi Farms to provide a platform that will facilitate staff salary payments, customization, integration, POS, terminals, and biometric cards for the farm hands that were to be employed by Wuntumi Farms Limited. Wuntumi Farms Limited was to provide IBAN Capital Limited with a database of all workers, from which IBAN Capital Limited was to integrate the workers on a payment platform. IBAN Capital Limited would then receive funds directly from Exim Bank for onward disbursement to workers, to the workers' wallets as salaries and allowances. Ladies and gentlemen, Wuntumi Farms Limited failed to provide a database of farmers, of farm hands to IBAN Capital, as there were no farmers working on the land, no farm hands working on the land. According to witnesses, Chairman Wuntumi, as CEO of Wuntumi Farms Limited, insisted and put pressure on IBAN Capital and Exim Bank to transfer the 400,000 meant for the workers to Wuntumi Farms Limited on the basis that the youth who were involved in Galamsey were not used to complex electronic payment systems and wanted to be paid in cash. In order to execute the project, Wuntumi Farms Limited had submitted a pro forma invoice to Exim Bank for the purchase of farm equipment, including tractors, combine harvesters, corn seeder machines, and Wellington boots. The invoice was submitted on December 15, 2017 as part of the loan application process. Subsequently, Exim Bank demanded proof that the equipment has been purchased. On March 18, 2018, Chairman Wuntumi submitted a receipt from a company known as Kasama Enterprise for the purchase of the equipment in the sum of 4 million Ghana cedis. However, and this is where it gets interesting, the equipment purchase as shown on the receipt included bulldozers and excavators. Our investigations established that Chairman Wuntumi had approached Kasama Enterprise, an industrial equipment dealer, and obtained an invoice with a promise to return to purchase the said equipment. He never went back to purchase the equipment. Instead, and this is where the criminal enterprise began, he forged the invoice he obtained from Kasama Enterprise by removing the word invoice and replacing it with receipt. This forged receipt was then submitted to Exim Bank as proof that he had purchased the equipment after the disbursement of the loan facility. The owner of Kasama Enterprise confirmed to investigators of the Economic and Organized Crime Office that the only document he issued to Wuntumi Farms Limited through Chairman Wuntumi was a pro forma invoice and not a receipt. He stated that after he issued the invoice, he never heard from Chairman Wuntumi again, despite repeated follow-up calls. The forged receipt submitted to Exim Bank suggested that Kasama Enterprise acknowledged receipt of the sum of 4 million Ghana cedis for the purchase of earth-moving machines and farming equipment. The so-called receipt had on it, and ladies and gentlemen of the press, this is what gave him away, 50 days to supply and 1 year guarantee and service. Now, I hope you understand what this means. That when you receive a pro forma invoice, okay, pro forma means that you've taken it with the intention of purchasing. And so they will give you a timeline, okay, within which the supplier will supply you the equipment. And then also, if there are any services or guarantee terms, they will be indicated on the pro forma invoice. But Chairman Wuntumi, as I said, took out invoice and replaced it with receipt to deceive Exim Bank that he had actually purchased the equipment. Investigations established that Chairman Wuntumi did not purchase any equipment, and as such could not register any equipment in the joint names of Exim Bank and Wuntumi Farms Limited as per the loan conditions, even though funds were disbursed to him to that effect. That all the equipment he claimed he purchased could not be traced. Investigations established that though Chairman Wuntumi submitted the forged receipt to Exim Bank, he stated during interrogation that he purchased second-hand brand new, whatever that means, second-hand brand new equipment, and that the receipts of all the purchases, including the documents on the equipment, were all sent to Exim Bank. However, Exim Bank has confirmed that neither Chairman Wuntumi nor Wuntumi Farms Limited submitted any documents covering the purchase of the required equipment except the forged receipts. In fact, when our investigators went to the ground, they realized that there were some obsolete, decrepit machines on the side, tractors dating back that were manufactured in the 1970s, and that were not functioning, were the ones that had been placed on the farm. So this was definitely a grand scheme designed to defraud Exim Bank. It is clear from our investigation that Chairman Wuntumi and his company, Wuntumi Farms Limited, made fraudulent misrepresentations to Exim Bank with a view to obtaining the loan facility, and in fact did obtain the loan facility. The equipment they represented were to be purchased were never procured. The farming enterprise never materialized, and so no young persons were employed in Asare Nkwanta in the Ashanti region. But more importantly, the company and its director and CEO forged a receipt in order to deceive Exim Bank that they were in compliance with the loan conditions. These are not mere breaches of a contract, but constitute acts of criminality, by no means a person than the regional chairman of the then ruling party. In the circumstances and the face of the evidence we have gathered in this investigation, thoroughly conducted by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, we have made the decision to prosecute Wuntumi Farms and its directors with defrauding by false pretenses, forgery, and causing financial loss to the state in the sum of 24,255,735 Ghana cedis. This figure represents the principal sum plus the interest that has accrued so far. And ladies and gentlemen, by the time we file charges, which will be definitely after the Christmas break when we resume work, it might be that this figure would have increased because the interest on the principal keeps compounding. And so we will get the exact figure of the amount that is involved in this criminal enterprise from the Exim Bank before we file charges in court.
All right. And one was these, among others, are the Ghana's economic mismanagers. That is what I have seen. So let me decode in terms of Sembia, age kind, or say, as part of the load conditions, Now was say I contact mine as I say Untumi farms. Young can contact mine and see a different issue. Untumi farms. I did the list of Nipa one employment or farms hoba. Now you send you BSC money electronically. Untumi ba mo ba kan chiro mo say asante for the sebe o ma dwen wo fom. O mo say ade e digita bia de o mo mpe. Pajonyam na make on ag na ko say chama Untumi went to Exim Bank, told them say youth na mo tia santema mu no yese mo madwen e wo fom mo se mo de mo de mo chire mo mpe any digital mo mpe bibia cash enti yen send this kind to no chama Untumi account mu no nyi no me che mo sika mamo se na nyi no boa ba chutie mi ye chama Untumi se ono ye governor wa santema mu na wa suma santema wa tester sante for you for mo se madwen wo fom mo ade e fe na digital bia mo mpe mo de an se yi na moko e na nsanwe chama Untumi na account. It is a munye no yose atomo ne nkwase asem temu dem say ade e digital means bi ade mu nhia enti yemfa sika ma no chama Untumi no metua e ma mo cash e transfer to Untumi account ma sika ya mutu poyando ate
chama Untumi no ye
oh se see a problem ba kwa sa be ka ho
the problem ba kwa sa be ka ho ne say chama Untumi call office bi say ye money okole say me petrata me excavator me pewe ye ma chama Untumi invoice na okoya na de control computer so e na on the poyando kure ya ko scan ye eni yi invoice na wa twere receipt e to ho e na de come Exim Bank enti not to say akwa na okasa chama Untumi has fraudulent arsenal ti we ti nzem we wa.
This time we are changing him because he has fraudulent us.
So what you say? Sena Santima Chama Untumi has actually fraudulent them. Well, that omo o se omo nim nyansa. Hey, Chama Untumi me ka nim say, o say na no echi abu treka, ye say abu treka ene timi fraud am for Chama Untumi the chini senior abu treka. Abu treka nankasa ene Chama Untumi. Sa o treka am for Chama Untumi timi wure whole Exim Bank of Ghana e kotreke o Exim Bank couldn't know. Yes, ade e ya ro say ye fa ka ko Chama Untumi 10,000 hectares of full na so ko na e koduru wa aburo bi no bi say lo sen kankare. Chama Untumi say mo awe aburo ni nyina. Yes, Chama a full 10,000 hectares na mo awe ni nyina. Na tractor na so de bre say wa koto no wo he say Chama Untumi so akoto brand new second hand materials. Ye ko ya tractor bi ho 1922 tractor NC ho. Hey, Chama Untumi, say out here. Now with him, young kwa Santima mu, and they are Santi region, Juma. Yet me do kwa Santi region. Young Kobisa Sante for say, Sika Chicken the way in a Chama Untumi Jidba Santima. Why no to me the Buano? Name one person and the MPP and another nego go for the Dano, it's me Pajano, our Santimemo. Abra say, my contract to Krumha. Na contractors are Santimemo, Enya, and I say Chama be and a Quagis can about your young corner, and a Sante for Nankasa, including Como.
I'm not promoting NDC, but make a mistake. Where Sir John Kanokwe and NDC point pan I'll be 65, 60, and now 50 something cry. I'm position a few people me boy. Do my board soon I advise you. That means who experience and why you be there. Cause that board nano. Sorry, near appointing youth, young people no. Now who's ya no more director board ni you say. We yenye say so ye dey ba nkola wo ho ye twinkuro abam ye wofufu na akokuraji position from Akuffo time busy at time we di post no mo da so gua ko kan so ani so ade Sir John mami musa question we ase we hia pa o is it MPP on ubetimi akira brand here pa 8 years you raising okumase a owonya no wa ye adwuma anya sika ne ese party no yan sponsor obetimi sponsor bi businessman botu kire me hwe mo ma ye di ni o ma dia yes wo de kumase a
there is some target o mo ananko mo
me say akola ben wo ye businessman ana wo na adwuma bi a party ni ba 8 years ya pagya ne se we ya ma na adwuma enti party na kwa ahohiahiam no ombeso yasene botu kire me. This is what we are talking about. They rather came and killed the businesses of the young guys. And then Boris B. NDC nebi pejano.
Oh, ni mampani mahama ho agro kra.
Boris B. Me see Boris B. I said John wan hu bi. Ze Boris B. Na na do ka ba. na minim so che otime to no say no boka security the radi yankop yam pijan yen kire bi ene Kumasi mranti nyina relocate to Accra ba yeti ya ntisa ya ka mu ntie ne yanka no kwan nkyɛ mu no bi a mekrokro mo ba under president Akuffo Sir John minim kura metima kai me bra panyi atachi niwa metimi akai your friend say Mahama Nuen
Ibrahim
yes metimi akai contractor ba ko ka ho oka Kofi Krade no a contractor but no nye road contract no nye road construction at that time but no a contractor who's a Kofi market on okra me on am dinim no me na yi na dey no on na stores no oh a contractor ba ko kan attach hu young guy onye juba ko very finity also a very good bar
ono na dey ono ye ha kwan
yeah young guy very good bar ya me refinity me am ni pa so
senya abwaje
Abaji.
Okay.
So all these people was raised by your friends comfort time. What you say? And na bibi bakura musu ambe. What dey 8 years?
Abaji contractor. Yeah.
And Sir John party no. And your money boy ye can kro. Ye magi chop one obi o. Ni abe yes sir. Ye can MPP party in Chama Ashanti region. Comfort time mean to me kadudu. Makan kwala miru. Eno omunya politicians o. But adwuma ne page omo. Say ye ka politicians so a metimi aka bebree. Sir John 8 years. 8 years. Yancha kola party ni raising no. E wa Ashanti region businessman party ni strategy business bi to why this can roll. Na hu chire. And the party politics mo an mo wiesi kana akipu o mo am ho ena mo de businessman be ni pejano akola be ne ya santini ana wotena santi krom ha ya tetena 8 years ye pejano
okay
Sir John
a question now
yes everyone
7.9 Kumasi
afedi adada for na o mo he kakra no Sir John MPP chairman ni NDC ni yebi papa o de say ni dey o say de say there akwaya ono say uti ba bi kura bi tu no
chairman
omumpa bibinya no na ne yankrofo no ye bi ya bi no be
friend abaji
yeah must be very careful here say no yankrofo e ba businessman e be a transporters me boa obi a contractor obi a say businessman ni politician dey simple woman adwuma o kakre wo no do ade aye den ama wo yankrofo e ba chairman no akwaje ye yoseme ye contractor adwuma e wo se de ma contractors ni adane de ama chairman na contractor fo nya adwuma nya wa asanteman mu omu na ya asanteman ma omu ya asantefo mu frakamam ye no omu netia no oye contractor wo nya adwuma nye obi a transformer transporter o chikoko no ahwe party no wo de contract no man na wo bia no ama ye ba ya na chairman bi wakofa articulators me 100 o se se mo fa contract ni na ama me esi da paying no crepa na we can say you catch them say me can no natural yes anti politician there over the page the business people within your stronghold so ne me choro both and collect ba ni mpanimfo na omuso nya bibia omo de bibia fa akira den aboawo na mo de mo ba ye ne pep or ye chairman or ye transporter or ye chairman or ye contractor or your chairman will be a radio station or your chairman, you are taking the business from the businessmen. Machoko for time, young Kolako for Pijao. And next, I don't want you, me say 8 years in our administration. As Santiman, young Kola business, you Pijamo. And now catch
one very basic question. Very basic and simple question. You see, a chairman, radio station, chairman, be articulators in the country cocoa chairman be contract and them chairman akwaje one chairman of TC Ashanti region or Kelly the whole of Ashanti region NPP party Oguno we are Santinia TN70 ye se krachi we say be gina wani so no kwa compare the national chairman of NPP now di chairman want to me chia sebe chairman want to me say wa bon o so unim nyansa o so wo digital means kwa na won ti ase nti mo na mudi chama huntumi na chama say na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia digitalization mo kwa mo say mo mpe mo kura na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say o kana say na asantefo a mote wono chama huntumi say youth me kanyo say mo mpe ode mu di kwa gi sika so de kwa kodo aburu no sika na wadi da koto Lamborghini yeso da koto cars ama na yere nom ama ene yuko fa kwa kwaje Poliando na eka nyama na meka o say na chama huntumi problem aba no ne cars kura na yere tim kura no abanyaje Lamborghini ni Rolls Royce na chama untumi yiri twi ba cha oti asante region na so de NPP de na NPP4 ye de wo ye de 12 years sa tie Poliando
chama untumi ne ho ye
oh se see a problem ba kwa sa be ka ho
anu ne sen
ne yire mu ka unsa ne yire mu ye mienu yakwaji ne yire mu cars nyina cars ne yire mu dabi aban
wakwaji chama untumi yire
cars ne yire mu tu no wa freeway agire cars nyina omo nante form ade omo ware chama untumi
adan paper car no papers no chama
minimo ya gine nyina free mai nsem adan so mo ware chama untumi ti why eti o how no ba kwa sa be kan wa se wanya bp ubeko bia yesi mahame engo form o ntino
form so de engo afia so asini gal magis Kennedy ene chama untumi mani huna wanya na afia so asini gal e ka ho agis Kennedy ko kan so dey trouble I say because chama untumi has fraudulently asked atone je no asi ora adwuma no ebi no ya twi chama untumi na Kofi Akpalu so ka ho e pa chama post video on the platform Kofi Akpalu dey no so bit me akwa ama me. This is a debate with Munufie mama yenko yenim na sometimes no we didn't go for chama sa obeka sa bere chama untumi dey amani hunu hom dey enya dey besa.
This time we are changing him because he has fraudulently us. Yes. We now relaxing that she have been cheating us. So
okay, so she chama untumi na dan she no me ko enim abusa phone say nra we bo video bi am see the youth of our country no the way inya politicians na ye kasa di o matem no e bad. It is true we have people on mobile Ghana be mismanage the economy and until na Addo dan Akuffo to kukurumuti no e de no once you better yenya na Addo dan Akuffo do yenya alaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia yenya Ken Ofori-Atta na sefo we address them peacefully na eno a video bi a crash bi e odidi the president atem no ye kasa fa ho ene be kotiba akubia we dey so ye MDC ni na nsema wode man adagi alaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mo no Epachoti asefem ewia ebema na futu.
Yeah, I'm back again. Another prayer in Sawam Adojuri MP. May I make a say meeting the large Abdul Wahab. In some phone oti Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Kosia Mahmoud Bawumia no the conference as na organizing man once a woman no. Awoti hodi President Mahama Temono. Oni Bawumia ni na moyem Kosiafo emwa Kosia oni Bawumia ni na moyem Kosiafo. Wase fata se odi president na ka Ghana for to abama no. Uye jimifo na nya wa Kosia empena babia se ya na okasa aboa. Se o papa nware o ma minti a wo nti nyansa di nyansa uni bi. Empena ba nyansa di nyansa uni bi Kosia na ka o papa eyo ma me ho ade na odi nyinsa nwu yo a ka on kasa efi efu we mfi wonu odwan o nantisa sonson aboa enya Ghana politics na yefo a na ka Jimmy Forty say one of them press Adojiri MP Jimmy Forty ka obey parliamentarian minim dia 2 MPP form go in Sawama Adojiri uma Jimmy adebia na omodo wakotra parliament Jimmy masa so uti on position na obetra on position a transiye na member Jimmy wa president Mahama so Kosia Kromfo but say o papa Kromfo kwa o say o respect no aboa o papa o si eni wuni o wo Addo play Adojiri MP no o munya tibie te say John Dramani Mahama Kosia kabadisam o pempe so kwa enye de wo Jimmy wons wo say Krasini but say wa boa Krasini another play o kosko na wanu suso nso kwa no o kwa o say Adojiri for en respect o dwan but say wo na Bawumia na ote ho na wo ye president Mahama so yo dwan fu no Bawumia no Kosia ote ho no onim left and right onim ne left and right odi to ho no so wo Jimmy ote ho a otie wo Kosia Ana don't play. Why am I going to say free? Wait, Jimmy Papa. And pin about this old bastard. Crossing me. And do what shaggy. Onya flefle. Kosia. Se President Mahama an kasentia on ko kasentia na. Ye duwe jawlan kusa na otim se enfa won hwe ho. Enfa won hwe ho. Masama wa ma olan kusa no. Se President Mahama ko gina bebi en du atem. Na wo gina so yo dwanfu a. Odwan sun kroso na nya accident. Na de betu bi ento. Ye no wonum pa Kosia. Okra wo ye mpena bakra do, o respect wo ho aboa. Wo na mo se sonson no. Onya ye saw me. Onya ye flefle. Enya wa Kosia. Enro ne busumu so a wo nenam no. Officer wo ju hu di wo ho. O dwan ba te say useless. Do shege mutumi mbanza dan duru wo shege dia farka. Kosia ka wo papa eyo ma no ho ade na wo anka menye so be kasa free say. O dwan ba te say dan duru wa. Onya ye gbemi, onya ye saw me. Kosia ajeto abua ohunfun ate Bawumia Kosia kromfo we kwa na ubunu abua na ohunfun sa na abua to kwa na pepe fon time asore eso time aso eso koya asore o to na Kosia wadani American Muslim on nam nam wiase oni ni left and right Bawumia we ni papa panka ya to ama President Mahama abua another play we jimi pa me so we jimi o maame no papa Kosiafo ne kwa no so buom o maame o sini wuni nkosiafo no you respect them aboa o papa Bobet say John Dramani Mahama na ka on be jimi se won se wom Kosia kromfo ba te se wo aboa o papa kromfo kwa no so bunu onya ye saw me onya ye flefle me say me Alhaji Abdul Wahab se President Mahama anka sentiawo na wo wako jinse wom se oyo dwanfu a ye do odwan be samaw across ama when accident. I'm telling you, mark it anywhere. You will see your left and right. Ye be catch you yesterday. So also we jimia, ye be cho jimie, also ye Kosia, ye be cho Kosia sema udi. And do won shege mutumi mbanza. Diam farka shege Kosia mpenaba ukasa anyhow. Kosia wanu mukankan wate. Wa MPP for kwase ono omukasa omuti center wanuma boa aya twetwe sin wate wa MPP for kwase ono omukasa wo sent wanum wo sent aboa sent MP and duru wo shege onya flefle sent MP wanum ni na kan wanum wo sin apronti no onka sempa mfiri wanum aboa cruelty se wo onya show me jomama yo join fun unini wo si amutifie de omo ye wan Kosia ohunfun wate Kosia fucking man like you idiot why Jimmy Papa o say then sa Akuffo do ammo tantanta na mutimi kasa rough of the bin ene o kan one ye better plot 30 me see o join fun no be cross ulanko sa obenya accident na obehu de beto ye be cash we still reading wo another premise one hwe ya ye beto no you'll be regretting your life. I told you, my name is Alhaji Abdul Wahab. I'm a constituency communication officer in Abokonof. Nobody can stop me. So what do who be racist and also be the president Bama Tema? Me say, who see no one equal me out from folk and all boom. A boa. Brabon Tibet Nema who papa ria. Chrono no board the trail. Brabon Timbeka. A boa Kosia. Foolish man like you, idiot. Comfort but say and do wo shege nyame de betua wo ka ye be sia wo soon you see what is going to crash you. You see what is going to come to you. A boy idiot man like you Kosia she oh be President Mahama what Jimmy Papa what Jimmy Pa you crazy Bawumia Kosia ikura no te ho o be President Mahama Bawumia kwa ne class meeting ne President Mahama na Kosia.
All right, so one will say, and 7 Dawson, but sometimes there is something I want us to come together as a people. And Rami similar video, which I don't know if I have to play it once again, but I don't think it makes more sense. Say if I not done pray, I know echo from the president of our country, you can discuss this kind of things with Addo very, very peacefully. But say what Trashi the big could do Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said be or tiny baby, or even if he was with Addo and you're not instigating Addo to go and see those kind of ways. One will say a Trashi kakra. And then instead of say, Oba dressing the panel, say, oh, Bonnie Penny, do you say, car or Timodia, say, car and Kunya accident in Kukuno. Oh, say, me, these kind of words are something I have a problem with it. In him, say, wow, as to how Powerhouse, you also understand it, you know. I don't even know. Emily, I don't know how you understand it, though. Because I say, yeah, the politics in the air are trash. Because me tell you, say, maybe say, Wabo me do you say, me Kofruka, me accident. A bit of I say, me name madam for being a cotton canum, or with anybody. That's in the Panasuku Piranasuku. Then what have you benefited? It's like what could pass him na money pan about at the end of the day, no, it's just the politics and we need to focus on the developmental issues of the politics, you know. It is a political actor be making mistake. Focus on the policies and program. Make a set here, Alaji Dr. Munufie, not as a person, but based on the policies and programs. When to me, I'm what Magana Uncle. I sometimes address another Akuffo in a similar way, but based on the policies and programs in the country, but not him as a person. To say we are boy, which we cannot substantiate. And then looking at the papaya, saying our constituency executive of NDC, so imagine said that Oba. Bounce on his father's or her father's video. Le papa ejina simpie so video atwe camera sin anim. Edi opanyi ti say allergy Dr. Munufie atem. Pacho den na obanu susu efrim. These are things we need to address as a people, because politics na you don't target people. You target them based on their policies and programs. And how you expect them to deliver. No, I mean deliver. And I believe, say, these among others are some of the things that we need to go after them. Not say, Nipan as a person. They could carbona, and they will be attention. And now this particular video, me Karachi, no dear the president at him. I'm very surprised and I'm very happy. Say, Minya Baba could send me voice note. Actually, said, no, to necessary aquano. And any pa say, well, bring you didn't call court. Hey, this guy, Felix appear. What did he also someone know? Okay,
make party. And this now, Muhun is when they green and then they pick the true members of NDC. No, on your bay for now, home the year Juma. And to whom the fran any into Munufie. The Cassie na Yonko, yes, Yonko. Ese don't get ya say about wa ye koi enipa kura ye bekum ye betu chetre mumfa mo kra no mo yin so na onipa na ya ka kira ne say about wo no okowu no no so bubuzela fe ese don't get ya say ye okowu o se this year no bi enkowu ma NDC fe eba ye appointment wunya bi se me kutia mahama me de mehu etwa so me de me ma e de dase and the opposition when this we then mama dwene anye adwuma Ghana for yamaya dwene anye adwuma na ene ne sa bonwunu bi na ebe se yemu mempene yamfa me candidate yama and MPP yama tena so ache and a dokono boy den no and the when you son for so na I bet say who should say you be sooner. I believe so. The same NDC I went to Yamokano. Not or the more to do so. It's no more to electricity bill. And I'm aware of it. Ghana for we friend now. Whether I'm a fool or I'm not a fool, the fact still remains that there was a stupid president who couldn't pay workers. And that is John Dramani Mahama. It is a fact. There is an idiotic president who, when he became the president the first time, he couldn't pay workers. He is back again and he still can't pay workers. He's a foolish president. Foolish one for that matter. And that's why he has idiots following him. A very silly and foolish man they call Mahama.
He has found a bunch of deplorables whose brains and IQs don't work. Because if you come here and insult me, while President Mahama hasn't paid workers, so what? You are happy that he has not paid workers? Is that what the NDC want to tell me? You are happy that it's Christmas time and people come by? People don't have no purchasing power? Because your party is in power, so even if people are dying or people are not dying, you don't care about that. Where Jimmy? Utie, me say NDC for, and I'm kwa siampeni John Mahamenti, Omu Jimmy, men am say, me so I kwa siampeni, Momechemenko. Me say John Mahama or ye kwa siampeni, or nunti na buwe biti say ya bua, ebejina ha otro. Into odi matem no, na mi di ne kwa siampeni Mahama natem, ujaya na msumejai. Ujimi for Mahama na eche nkwa no betina Ghana di ye no, wono no ye.
One direction that Papa Ideko insulting the whole sitting president. But I was surprised. Minia Bako sending me a message because I didn't even know who this guy was. I sent him a message. Actually, Minipa Krachi Oye, but your intino.
Rowley, good afternoon. Ewaha. Apomo in GDS of what they now do. Moye, Trady and Port Trubun Subatam, Paninti Mesume Pan. My show video and run at Junos and drama me and my life and a pen and Mary. Now, as a one kai fellas appear, Namsim a member and a member explaining chiro. Ubekaya, I think after 2020 election, I think some Eurofika class say 2021 was a 2022. Sewa Bruni issue. Ubekaya, Sewa Bruni issue. Guy we na obedidi sewa broni atem se wono kura no onim sewa broni no da ben na oye be matu oba onu nim ni so oye twetutwe se bi mu facho fachem sana okan okekan se mbasa na sewa broni edi ne call report no ma Canada because no sewa broni e full Canadian na obeto nyum se mi wo Metina say it's that time no obeka no what wire rastantine bia power ni sukakra that time no wire rastanti bi kra wo start say wo kan felix appear political zone na me huni pakro enti me share no din time I would to so me share ni din na me say any pay ono a enti sa di pay di o ye ni den obedi DJ matem na defender or defender Akuffo de bini ema wokonya asem se wabroni siw for damages ena on say hono no they don't talk about ubi sexual preferences se wo ba wezuzu pe nyonko bema wuntimi nkan wasem ti obeka na wokonya asem freeze that time no man tin nkan biema kopem se video
all right, enti someone will say Sakrachi, not to so starting say Jumadi way na ache. Didi atema ma se bring the court. I'm say no rasta. Say na wati, no koyi rasta na Togo. And was saying about BM. Let's or not there atem didi no di. But you know this kind of things, you know, we shouldn't support them. That is what I believe. Because you can't say supporting them say Presela the problem beba. Because sometimes you know to say how can I make say ushi obi akasa nipa ne kano. Now what can the same language in either actually nipa no. But when the language in the nipa ne ya ko broswa. You're not going to believe this. The problem I had aba. So as a people, the moment you address the political issues, you know, based on substance, by nyatem didi in those kind of things, you know. Enti me da say ebia oti and one me say be adwen in that kind of contest. All right, so this is the debate with the Munufie. Me pacho di brunya kakra. And no I said me kind of Presela edimi brunya very very surprised. The Presela me da CBM, but I still my new email no me pacho bit me send me number no through the email na see bit me kasa so person chatting so na a chat on the Presela cook me da se pa anwa udimi brunya kama pa. That is something I'm very very happy say you did that. Me da se the Bronya, Ibedi Bronya on this particular show, I have proposed it 27th. I'll put out a link. Now, the family in Yabeldo and Mama Yin Yamra show is live. Now, you discuss it. So, the show is open on 27th. If you want join the piano, you're free to join. Now, you need come on a mom. So, what I say. So, if you me here, here on this show on the 27th. The mom on this particular show. With me, Edimi Brunya Bianso, that's all when Brunya Bianso, no, but as we've been building this particular show as a family platform. That is something I say, eh. Me do be ase. And then me the best you have say question be or our address. But if there's no question, and so many beji say, Oma inya mere na etimi de asom ABC ene. Say na da no. Because this is the debate with Munufie because yanyen is sometimes you be feel be if you buy until 2025 so at the latter part of 2025 no me sum up of Nema course of 2025 in Ababa because who president Ejuma president Ebono enye Ejuma wa. So we need to also address all these kind of political shows to send ya dane da no until we're going to do all those kind of things. Now your bomb is 2026 and so but 3 now a 3 year yetimi asom then dane down so no no until we're going to discuss all these kind of things. But so be a question be Samia. I will take my time to also address it. But be anywhere there, I think say I'll be very, very happy to call it a day for today. And then the same time I'll be back. So what question be answer? But me so you subscribe and so with me I subscribe on this particular show. Send be a dane banso on sabit me akame. Say with me I like I share and so I'm a for so saka and also many bit me ajo kama pa because we need to build this particular show. Send be by 2026 you know. In the way who say you grow because day in day out we are growing together. So that is something I want us to do. Inti me that's Ghana and the only country. Ghana ne me mind.
Release this Black Prophet alongside Ras Cuckoo. Aye. Cuckoo. Cascades on it.
Me my Madagana. Africa na mi free Madagana. Pe wo musu ye kama nyame acha shedi enti yem to ozana
da chinchiri mayo omonti na ye breyo oh
ye jesu ye enya sadati e bese yo red gold and green me who ana man feel love is the key